Este podcast ha sido editado y producido por Beat Mark, una agencia de marketing especializada en contenidos digitales. Hello, I'm Gaby Alcalá, the creator of Acada Paso. This podcast explores the life of individuals who may not be famous, but that are making a significant difference in their community. We are here to show that there is wisdom and inspiration all around us in the stories of those who quietly impact the world, those that are called the unsung heroes. Hello, everybody. We have a podcast today in English where we interview Alex Kitungano. I hope I'm pronouncing his last name correctly. Alex is from Burundi. He's currently in Boston, and he does an incredible job helping patients with very difficult or terrible diseases around the world that need care in other countries. It could be here in the United States or elsewhere, but he basically helps them navigate the care they need, the paperwork they need, the documents, the visas and everything, but also provides companionship. His story started early on in his life with his mother helping others, and he himself helping victims of really horrible diseases. Listen to his story so we can help him and also learn some valuable lessons. If you like this podcast, please leave your comments in a Spotify podcast or in my new web page called acadapaso.com. Everything's in the show notes so that you can help Alex's organization and this podcast. And if you like it, leave some stars. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. Alex, it's so nice to see you. Thank you for accepting this invitation. I have been reading your story and it's captivating. So thank you for being here. I want to start, Alex, I could introduce you, but I prefer that my guest introduce himself. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Like, tell us what you're doing right now and how that connects with your story of your life, which I think is super interesting.
Yeah, thank you, Gabby, for this opportunity and also to your audience that are listening right now. I think one of the hard questions that I always struggle with when people ask me, "Who are you?" Would you introduce yourself? I always struggle because I hate titles. So I want to just give you my name. That's all. So my name is Alex Gitungano. And I live in the Boston area, specifically in Brookline. Yeah, I run an organization called Justice Health Initiative, JHI. So this is the work that I've done for almost 10 years individually, and I've been doing the same work for 3 years under the umbrella of the organization. So the mission of JHI is to provide holistic, quality healthcare for the most vulnerable patients without hope for treatment. Those kids who need specialized treatment, they have severe conditions. There's no way they can be treated. So I help coordinating their care. I help them, find the care they need. And like from scratch, from the beginning, like helping them to leave from their home countries where they are and to travel to where they need to get treatment. And also we help them with aftercare when they go back home. Yeah.
Wow. And why? Why are you doing this? How did you get into this? What brought you to, I mean, it's tough work. So why are you doing this?
Yeah, I love people. I always say that I love people and I hope to help whenever I can. And this is the work that I started when, I can go back growing up. I was a little boy. My mom used to visit strangers in the hospital. And these are people she didn't know. So I was born in Burundi, for those who don't know. I was born in Burundi, Central East Africa, close to Rwanda, Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, that Central East Africa region. And then, so my mom used to visit strangers, and these were people coming from village looking for treatment in the capital. But most of the public hospitals, all of them, they don't provide food. So patient, if you don't have someone to take care of you, so we struggle, especially if you had a surgery, you struggle to get food. So she used to visit those strangers, and I used to go with her and just to see what she's doing. She would clean them, she would cook food for them, she would help them whatever, she would say a prayer for them, and she would encourage them. So I used to say, and I loved it. And then when I went to high school, so I started introduce myself to these strangers. I would go and knock at the door, at the hospital, and say, "Hey, I'm here. My name is Alex, and I'm just here. I wanna help, and then I just wanna talk to you. I didn't have so much to help. The only thing that I could afford was to buy banana and banana and oranges. That's the only thing that I could buy for them. So I would talk to them,
Yes.
and so and when I kept doing it, and there was a time when I started doing even with my friends. We would go together and visit them, visiting this patient in the hospital. And then when I was in college, I was part of an organization. I was volunteer there, and I got a call asking if I could help this young man. His name was Freddie. Freddie was burned. The whole face was disfigured. He fell in the cooking fire. He had epilepsy seizure, so he got stuck, and the whole face was damaged. So there was a hospital that was going to treat Freddie. So I thought, okay, I'm going to have Freddie, just for, one trip. He was getting treatment to Kenya, so I traveled with him to Kenya. So one trip ended up being 3 years through my college time, so I was using my summertime breaks, and then from there, when I graduated 3 months later, and so I was done with Freddie was like February 2013, and then I graduated June 2013. 3 months later, in September, I got another call about Leo, and then I was like, "Why are you calling me to help?" You know, to help Leo. He was a toddler, and I have Freddie, but it doesn't have a lot of, I don't have, it doesn't mean that I have a lot of experience with burn survivors.
Ah.
At that time, I was still kind of trying to figure out what's my next chapter after graduation and trying to find a job.
Question. So this is you were doing college here in the United States or elsewhere? Where were you doing college?
I was doing college in Burundi, and
On
yeah,
Burundi. Okay. Okay.
exactly. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's where everything started before I moved to the States. And then I traveled with. So I finally accepted. I went home and I told my mom the Leo story, and she was like, "Yeah, you have Freddie. Why not Leo?" And so I was like, "Yeah, I can help." So I took Leo to Rwanda. We went to Uganda, but they couldn't provide the treatment, the specialized treatment that he needed. So basically, there was no hope for Leo. So we ended up going back home. We went back to Burundi, and we didn't want to do. So through another connection of a friend of mine, and it was kind of a long connection of a lot of people. So the story got to Shriners Hospital in Boston, and then they were like, "If we can help Leo, but how he's gonna get here?" And then so I volunteered to help Leo, to bring him to the States to get treatment. Leo could not travel with his parents because he was one of the 10 children, the 10 children. He's number nine, and the parents didn't speak English. And Leo knew me already, and they have so many kids to take care of. So as I gave, so my commitment was only 6 months, bring him here and then go back. But traveling with a child who's not related to you was very complicated, and so you need a lot of documentation, legal document. So and then we couldn't get all of those documents that we need, so we went just. I remember, I made a prayer and I said, "Hey God, if you really wanted me to travel with this little one, I don't want to pay any bribe to get this document. I just need you to provide the documents that we need." So in 3 months, that was my prayer. In 3 months, so in 3 months, we were able to get the basic document that we needed. I got the legal. I got the power of attorney. It's kind of a legal document that you receive when you're taking care of someone. So we went to apply for visa to U.S. Embassy, and they asked me questions. How did you get involved in this? I told them my experience with Freddie and what I've been doing, just helping people.
Sorry, when you say helping them, so you help them with the, like you're saying, like the documentation, like finding the connections to so that they get better care. What other things do you do for them?
So that time we've already found a hospital, so which was really nice after other hospital failed to take care of him. So now for me, that time I was only like Leo's caregiver, taking care of him and whatever he needs while he's getting treatment and be able to provide all. And for Freddie, the same way as Freddie, I had to clean him. And Freddie had no lips. So he had saliva coming out all the
Ah,
time.
wow.
Talking about. So I have to learn how to clean, him, be there for him, whatever he needed, and not help him navigating the care that he needed. So that time that was only that. Yeah, so but now it's different. Now it's different. I do a lot. I started just as recently I was speaking at the Harvard Medical School, and then I do one of the things I was sharing with them is my journey, how I started as an only caregiver and become health, and end up becoming health advocates.
Yeah.
So advocating for these children who have no hope for treatment. So now we help them, like, when I receive these cases, I help them from scratch, like, reviewing the medical records, and I have to talk to the doctors that are part of the work that we are doing. And then once we determine if this is the case that we can help, we start with the legal process. If they need to come to the States, or if they need to go to other countries, they need a visa, they need a passport, they need other legal documents. So that's one thing, and we have to help them with transportation. If they need, air flight tickets, airplane from where they are to another country where they need to go. So we have to arrange all of that.
And I assume you're basically decoding all the complexity of coming to the United States to get care. So, I mean, you help with all the legal piece, but I suppose also you help them navigate the system, that is very complex.
Yeah, exactly. So when I brought Leo into the States, we didn't know anybody in Boston area. We had no friends. We got stuck here, and I had no clue how to take care of a child. And then we couldn't, I got homesick. I was overwhelmed. Leo, as a child, as a toddler with special need, he didn't speak English. Nutrition was new, everything, the environment, the language, being far away from his family. And now I'm just a single guy taking care of this toddler and changing diapers. I had no clue. I remember some of the mistakes that I did. I would give him a lot of drinks at bedtime, and then he will pee in the morning. He'll make the bed wet, so in the morning I'll be frustrated. So I had to learn that all of that, like you're not supposed to give a child a lot of drinks at bedtime, and then I had to teach Leo a lot of stuff. Uh, and we struggle even to find homes. We end up living in the hospital. We couldn't live in a hotel for a long time,
Yeah.
and we didn't have a lot. We had only like $1,000. Can you imagine coming to the state with
God.
$1,000?
How old were you?
So that time was 25, 26, I think. And then, I and Leo has just turned 4.
Wow.
Uh, and then, so we got stuck here. We didn't, we didn't know anybody. We were moving from house. So we left the hotel, the guest house in Charlestown, Navy Yard. It's called Constitution Inn. That's where we stay. So we left there. We ended up leaving the hospital, it wasn't the best place to live with a child. And then, we struggle with, socialization. We want to connect with people, because Africans are really are not to be. We live in a community. We help each other.
Oh,
We
yeah.
we talk to strangers. We say hi. You spend hours and hours talking, and then so we want to connect with people. So we didn't have that. We left the hospital. We start moving from houses to houses. People hosting us for a few weeks, few days, months, and so, back to your question, in the model of work that I'm doing right now is the same model. I don't want people to go through, the pain that Leo, went
Yeah.
through, struggling to find a home, like navigating the healthcare system in the United States. So we kind of put in place everything. We arrange everything for the patient. So the patient just come here for treatment. So we have to help them find a host family and housing situation. Set up their transportation. Whatever they need, food. If they come in the winter time, they need jackets. So in all the hospital, the treatment, translation, help them. So yeah, it's a lot of work. Yeah. Mm.
And Alex, do you know the organization Hospitality Homes?
Yes, I do. I've talked to them. Yeah, I've talked to them a couple of times. And then actually, one of the patients that I'm helping, and he's staying with a family in Brooklyn that volunteer for, they volunteer
Right.
uh, for the organization hospitality. Yeah.
I interviewed them a few episodes ago, and they do great work in hosting families that are looking for care in
Mhm.
Boston. And then there's another organization that's podcast is coming out tomorrow. Is the Lily House in the Cape. I think it would be good for you to know them just for other reasons. They keep patients company in their last days of life, but they
Mhm.
give them a home so that they don't die alone.
Mhm.
So they die, like in our countries, people may tend to be surrounded by the people that love them in their last days. So they want to do the same here, where a lot of people are dying alone. So just I'll connect you later. What have you learned from doing this work? I mean, I bet many things, but what is one thing that has stayed in your mind?
Yeah, it's a sacrificial life. That's what I've learned. You give your life for others, and there's one of the, one of the Bible verse that I like is, if you want to gain your life, you need to lose it. But if you want to, if you if you want to gain your life, if you want to, but I'm kind of paraphrasing what the verse says. So you have to. It's a sacrificial life in order to help people. You need to give. You need to get to the point where you give yourself. You give with all the potential that you have. You give fully. You give yourself fully to others. That's where I can say. So that's something. It's not easy. I paid it. I paid the price for this. One like Leo. He so I lost my dad after 2 days. Leo had a surgery,
Mhm.
and I couldn't leave Leo by himself in the hospital and
Wow.
go to my dad's funeral. But because of the love that I have for him, and yeah, so I never, I was not able to go and to bury, or even just say the last word to my father. So it was hard, and I've missed a lot of things just because of helping these patients, helping Leo and others. So it's a sacrificial life. When you go to bed and you keep thinking what you need to do, how you can coordinating the care for these patients. I remember, going to bed around 1 a.m. and you have to wake up at 5 a.m. getting calls. Like most of the patients are international patients. We have time differences where they are and where I am. So coordinating their care, it's challenging. You
Of
get
course.
calls. Well, nowadays they use WhatsApp. It's a way of
Yeah.
connecting with people. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna ask you, my next question was about what has been one of the most challenging moments, but I think you described one of them right now, not being able to be with your father when he passed away to take care of Leo. Are
Mhm.
there other very hard moments for you that you wanna?
Yeah, there are many challenges that I face with, and I haven't been able to see my family for 10
Oh,
years. For 10 years,
years.
10 years, and Leo lost his mom as well, and so I took the decision. I took the whole Leo guardianship, basically like his father. And he lost his mom. It was hard for me to explain all of that
Wow.
in his life. And there are a lot of challenges where you're facing with the healthcare system. The healthcare system
Totally.
is very expensive in the United States,
And it's
and
very broken.
so you take the whole responsibility of these people. You become their sponsor. You help them to travel from where they are to another country, whether it's in the United States or wherever they need to go. Because we try to bring the hard cases to the States, and other cases we take to other countries. And so there's are just these are hard challenges, and
And
fundraising, raise funds for all of these, and see some of the. I remember trying to help some of patients, and they died, and while we were helping them, so you,
so what do you do to keep your energy up? I mean, I assume there is a payoff for helping all these people and this amazing work that you're doing, but there is a reality that it takes a toll on you to do this. So how do you stay positive? How do you recover energy to keep doing what you're doing?
yeah, I'm a person of faith, and one of the things that encourages me is prayer. I like to kneel down. Every morning I wake up and just kneel down, ask God for help. One of the shortest prayers I can pray is, "Help me, God, help me."
Wow.
And so through prayer, the painful, so my story is not only like what I'm struggling with. I also went through, the genocide of Rwanda, the civil war in Burundi, political violence in Congo. I've lost family members, all of these. So I've been through a lot in my whole life. I've been displaced a couple times, running, for your life, and so through all of the pain that I went through, I've learned to lean on God and trust Him. So my prayer, waking up in the morning and read my Bible is something that really helps me. And it's not like I don't want I have one of the degrees that I have is related to counseling. I don't want to keep things inside of me. I like just talking to people. Having a friend, and also I like to run. That's something is that I do is over take a guitar and play, so I enjoy playing music. So but the most thing is just my quiet time, with God, and I want to just cry out to Him for help, and I've seen Him deliver me and help me. Mhm.
Wow, it's really incredible. I mean, it's
And also, I picked up pick a ball with you last summer, so I really enjoy, and that's how we got connected and
I
enjoy
know,
playing with you.
no, it's a great community. My husband thinks that I'm totally obsessed with this, but it's just hard to explain the
Yeah.
beauty of what that community that we have, what it has brought to all of us. So, is there anything you have done differently?
It's hard to I like to learn, but I've given myself.
Yeah.
I've given my whole life for others, and so I don't think that, yeah, I've given a lot. I've given a lot. So it's yeah. This is not. This is the path that I have to go through, and there was no way I could go back and change it. So I just take it the way it is and enjoy every moment.
Wow.
Yeah, if there's a reason for every because I've learned in every season that I went through, in every challenging season, every issue that I've learned, and so I had there's this quote that experience from John Maxwell. He said, "Experience is not the best teacher, but evaluated experience. What you get to evaluate experience, what you went through, and that's where you get a lesson. You get something there to apply. So going back won't help me, but I look forward, where I got from the experience that I went through, and try to use it, the lesson that I got, and try to use forward to help me dealing with the future."
Incredible. And what
Mhm.
are you afraid of?
You know, Gabby, I've seen a lot of pain in my life, a lot of pains and being far away from my family for these years. I'm not afraid of anything. That's I would say. I still face a lot of challenges, a lot of, whether it's personal, whether the work that I'm doing, and just taking care of others. Yeah, I'm always, whatever pain is always hard all the time. It's hard, but whatever comes in my way, I believe that there's a reason. God let it happen in my life for a reason. So I'm not afraid. I'm always ready to face the challenges.
I'm speechless. I'm speechless, seriously, because I mean,
Mhm.
I read your story and I want to put your website on the links of I mean, in everything that I'm going to publish with this podcast because it's this incredible story and it really amazed me how you believe in God, how you believe in prayer, and how what you just said that you're not afraid of anything else because in a way you believe in destiny now, like in some way.
Yeah. Exactly, and I also believe, wherever a hardship that I'm going through, I know God is greater than the challenge. He's greater than it. So I want to walk with Him, and I want Him to come on my side and help me to deal with this. So I don't fight the battle
You don't
by
fight the
myself.
battle. I love that.
I won't, yeah, because I will depress and I won't be able to do the work.
I want to write that down. And have you now moving into a little bit of a lighter topic? Have you read, watched, or something lately that you have loved that you would like to share with others?
Okay, one of the, I don't watch a lot of movies. I'm not like a movie guy, but I like to read. And so one of the books that I've read is, it's called Intentional Living, by John Maxwell, Intentional Living by John Maxwell. So it's an incredible, book. He basically talks about how to add value to people, living a meaningful life. And he talks about, success is about, accomplishment, what you do, but meaningful life is about, making impact to someone's life. And
Well,
that's my life.
you are doing that. You definitely doing it. There's no doubt about
That's
it.
why. Something I like, I wish I could do more, right?
Oh gosh.
Yeah, sometimes I have these requests and I'm like, how can I help all these people? So, and whenever I see the opportunity, and this is how I always encourage people, whenever you see an opportunity comes in your way, and take it, maximize your life, by helping others. Mhm.
No, incredible. If you had the time, I mean, the opportunity, I would say, to go for a drink or for a run or whatever you wanna, whatever event you like to do with someone in the world,
Mhm.
alive or dead, famous or not famous, who would that person be, and what question would you ask?
Wow, that's an interesting question. I think there are a lot of people I love to meet, just connect with them and just learn from what they have done. But I think one of them will be Mother Teresa. She's not anymore, but she gave herself to so many vulnerable population and helping them in different ways. And I would be curious, like, what kept you going on? How did you? She dealt with a lot and different issues, but she was able to help a lot of people. I would love to sit down and
Yeah,
just listen to her. Yeah, there are great people around the world who are doing amazing work. Yeah.
including you.
I think I'm still trying. It's a
Oh my
test.
God, you are doing a lot. I mean, what can I say? You're doing a lot. And
One of the things I've learned, I don't take in glory in the work. I get an amazing, people read my story from the Boston Globe. The Boston Globe covered my story. People see the work that I'm doing and they reach out to me. Or I get emails, text messages on the website, people commenting, hey, you're doing amazing. I always be careful to take any glory. It's not about me. And everyone who comes in way helping me, the patient, even to transport a patient to one location to another, they're part of what God is doing in me, what JHI is doing. So and so we're doing it together. So I'm always, careful to take any glories.
I love that. And that's real people are that. Real people don't take glory. They're doing it for others, not necessarily for them. I I normally when I'm to end my podcast, I normally use a phrase that my father used to say to me and to my brother and sister. In your case, I mean, there's a clear one. I think life is a boomerang. I mean, you're giving so much. Life is gonna give back to you. I know you don't want to take the glory at all, but it could be getting more resources and the help you need to continue helping these patients. But before I ask you the last question, which is which phrase do you use for you, is there any way we can help you? Like, can you tell the listeners ways we can support the work you're doing?
Yeah, so yeah, before I get to that answer, but I want to go back to your first question, which was like, what is your motto? Like, what's phrase that you always stand on? I think is giving while you are living. This is what I always encourage people: giving while you are living, and your life doesn't need to be perfect in order to help others. I'm still struggling with a lot, still going through a lot of pain and every day, but I don't stop helping others. Don't wait until everything's perfect in order because you will never see that perfect life. Just enjoy every moment, enjoy whatever you're going through, and help others for any opportunity that you have. Take it, to help us. Look around. There are people who are struggling around you.
Good.
There are children there's someone who just need encouragement. Every day I try to do something that makes an impact. Even it can be a little thing. Even you just opening the door for someone who's
Good.
getting to a store or whatever, just I try and I evaluate myself. By the end of the day, I ask myself, who did I help today? Is anything meaningful that I did today? So try the little before you start doing big things. Start with the little things, small, tiny, and then you can grow that. Because we always expect, oh, I want to change the whole world. And,
No,
you cannot, you can get to that level if you didn't start, at the low level.
I have
So
in my journal that I write every day, I have that question. Did I give or receive kindness?
exactly.
And it's the same, like the small things
Mhm.
always affect my day. Like someone smile or someone, I don't know, so many ways. And it's good to keep connected with those things every day.
Exactly. So yeah, that's true. Yeah, you need to. Yeah, I like the way you do it, and so just evaluating yourself because we want to receive than giving. But if you give yourself to others and you be able to receive, you don't give to receive, but as you help others, you
But
get.
asking the question, if someone gave you kindness or had an act of kindness to you, helps you appreciate, because sometimes people do it and we are such in a wheelhouse, like that we don't realize that happened. But if you
Mhm.
stop and say, did anybody do something for me today? Did I do anything for someone today?
Mhm.
It really allows you to be mindful on that.
Exactly. So you are grateful, and also you are living
It's,
significant
it's,
life
exactly.
with others.
Yeah.
And yeah, so to your question, where you ask how people can get involved. So JHI, if they go, so JHI is Justice Health Initiative. It's the organization that I built from scratch. I had no clue. And I recently, I was working full time building the organization, helping the patient. So recently I quit my job. Quit my job. It was very scary. I remember changing the date when I wrote the resignation letter. I changed it. I kept changing the date, the language. Yeah, because it was like, what am I gonna do with this? So I resigned from my job and I become full time for JHI. So if they go to www.jhinc.org or they can find more information about my story and the work that I'm doing, and the way they want to get involved.
I'll put it in the show notes so that people can find it easily and click directly.
Exactly. Yeah. So there's different ways that people can help us. Could be hosting a patient, could be giving a ride to a patient, could be a donation, whatever you could do to support the work HR is doing. So, and then my contact is there. So I'll be happy to sit down with you and share more.
Alex, thank you so much for being here today. I really enjoyed the conversation and I admire what you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Gabby, for this opportunity, and thank you for thank you for what you're doing and highlighted people's work, and that's great. It's a wonderful job. Yeah,
Hope to see you around soon.
hope to see you around soon. Okay,
Bye.
yeah.